Shalom. And let's start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that's pushing this truth across the four corners of the earth and all faith, truth, and sincerity. This I'ma wanna bud back and giving us sitting. This one going to about you know how the Lord Yahushua, who y'all people call Jeebus. Lord Yahushua, he's gonna return, and bring down these so-called white people, Esau, Edomite devils. Excuse me. Lord Yahushua gonna return and bring down these so-called white people, red people, the Edomites, which are the Edomites. The so-called white people, which really they're red, the Edomites. He's gonna bring these Edomite devils out of the power seat, man, soon. And it's gonna come. And it's gonna take these so-called white people, Esau, Edomite devils, these red devils, out of it's gonna shock them, it's gonna take them by surprise, because they think that they're gonna continue to be in their rulership, and continue to do what they do. Being wickedness, trying to be like the Most High, they want to have full control of everything in the earth. They want to have it all, right? They want to have control of the people. They want you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Israelites, which are the real chosen people of the Lord, to be, to stay down. And like I said, really, they want to get rid of you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Israelites, man. They want to get rid of us, Israelites, but it's not going to happen, because Lord Yahushua is going to turn and remove these devils out of the power seat. But I'm going to start off with Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, which you go into the word heart, and the Hebrew word is lob, which means your mind. Who shall bring me down to the ground? So in these Edomites' minds, so-called white people, red people, the elites and so forth, in their mind, they say, who gonna bring us down? Who gonna bring me down? Who gonna bring us down? Who gonna take me out of power? Who gonna do it? It ain't that's their mindset. Who's big bad enough to come bring us down, come remove us? And it's gonna be the Lord, So I'm gonna read this verse. Obadiah 1:4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence when I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh, Yahushua. So, that's who gonna be. It's gonna be, Yahweh Yahushua, it's gonna bring you so-called white people, Esau, Edomite down. You red devils out of the power seat. Y'all set y'all, y'all exalt yourself as the eagle. Like, the eagle is a proud bird, right? It's a proud bird. And that's what the Edomites is, right? They proudful. Their nest is those satellites, what they have, if they're whatever, But Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is gonna return and smack all that shit out the way, He gonna get all that shit out the way, man. Gonna knock all that stuff that y'all got, in the atmosphere, and then and gonna take you, and remove you Edomite devils out of the way, man. But I'm gonna go from there. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna go from there to This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 10. The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. So, who's the physician? The Lord Yahushua. So the Lord Yahushua is gonna, he's gonna return, and hey, I'm gonna fix all this, that this so-called white man Esau and my devils have done to the earth. What they did, with the air, the water, and the food, and so forth, and cross cross, DNA strands and this and that. All they trying to make stuff, what they do in these laboratories and stuff like that. Trying to be like the Most High, and just messing around, just messing up shit, right? Loyal Shah is going to get rid of them. They are the cancer of the earth. The so-called white man Esau, them devils, red people, Edomites are the cancer of the earth, man. And Loyal Shah is going to get rid of them. He's going to, fix it all. And we're like, okay, the physician, hey, he comes, he comes and heals, you know what I'm saying? Say, well, how, come heals, and remove whatever needs, the disease, cancer, what is in your body, and that's what it is with the Edomite devils. That's in power. They the council of the earth, man. They got, it got people out here, man. They tired, they sick, making people sick with this food. You know what I'm saying? The medicine they push out, and so forth, man. And Loyal Shah is gonna get rid of these Edomite devils, man, for pushing all this wickedness out here, man, and all this deception, lies and deception, man. Rape, robbing, murder, and so forth. And still, Deontay Wilder, he did another interview where he was going in about slavery and so forth, about these Edomite devils, so-called white people, about slavery. And Deontay Wilder, he said, to this day. So, just say, to this day, the so-called white man, Esau, the white devil, he continues to, he has hatred still for you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Israelites, to this day, and to this day, y'all, he hangs y'all Negro, Latino natives, Negroes, I say, still, Latinos on trees, or, it don't get talked about a lot of that, or, if it does come up, it'll come up, it'll be brought up, these hangings that be happening still, and, getting shot down the street by cops or whatever it may be, and so forth, but Loyal Shah gonna return, man, and remove these devils out of the power seat. But we'll go from there to I ain't gonna make this too long. So in off of this is Job 18:17. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. So it's gonna come. Hey, Loyal Shah gonna remove everything from the Edomites. Their monuments, name, all this stuff. Everything gonna be destroyed, man. Ain't gonna be no remembrance of Esau, Edom, man. Especially, like I said, once they done with, being in slavery, in the kingdom, the Edomite, so-called white people, red people, they go into slavery. After 1,000 years of slavery be done away with. The nation of Edom will be done away with, and don't be no remembrance, nothing of them, nothing, gonna be completely just erased, deleted. They will be completely deleted, nation of Edom, no more cancer, no more, mischief, nothing, being pushed in the earth and so forth, man. No more confusion. Because Yahweh Shai is going to return, and destroy this place, America, Babylon the Great. They'll come back in the chariot, so-called UFOs, laser beams, but then ultimately the thermonuclear missiles, what, ultimately the thermonuclear missile is going to be what it's going to completely destroy everything here in America, Babylon the Great, burn up everything. And other countries going to get hit as well. But not every country is going to get hit with missiles. And the whole earth, the earth is going to, it's going to rock to and fro. It's going to be an intense, dramatic destruction that the Lord Yahushua is going to bring upon America, Babylon the Great. It's going to be, it's going to be worse than, the deliverance and the destruction is going to be way worse, than Egypt, in the time of Moses, Yahweh, brought out, Moses and the Israelites back then in the time of Egypt, Mizraim, but in this time, in America, Babylon the Great, and Lord Yahweh shall return, and chariot so called UFO, deliver, the elect. Hopefully, I'm probably righteous number, but he gonna deliver his elect, to escape that wrath and judgment, just to escape that second death. It's gonna be by way of the thermonuclear missiles. That fire that's gonna come by way of the thermonuclear missiles. That's gonna burn everything up here in America, Babylon the Great. And it's gonna be a dramatic, intense deliverance and destruction. When the Lord Yahweh returns. So with that, I didn't want to make this too long. Hope this was edifying. So again, I like give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash, to the apostles, elders, to the Sisakim brothers, to the few Akwaf sisters that do listen, keep the faith in Yahushua, keep fighting with that